Yesterday, the UN Security Council held a special meeting on Yemen. During that meeting, Special Envoy Hans Grunberg briefed the Council on the latest developments in Yemen. Further, in the ensuing debate, the Council members affirmed that a Yemen-led political process is the only way for sustainable peace in the country. More details on the story are within this report.
Yemen is becoming a chronic emergency marked by hunger, disease, and other miseries that are rising faster than aid agencies can reverse. Martin Griffiths, who is also the Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, cited major risks of apathy and fatigue strengthening the severe situation in Yemen as the world's attention turns to Ukraine.
After more than 7 years of war, Yemen is becoming what humanitarians often refer to as a chronic emergency. And as aid workers know, there are grave risks in chronic emergencies, namely inertia and fatigue. We've got to avoid giving in to those forces.
Yemen relies on commercial imports for 90% of its food and nearly all its fuel. Griffiths added that 1/3 of its wheat comes from Russia and Ukraine, where the conflict sparked on 24 February may push food prices, which already doubled in 2021, even higher. Fuel imports have fallen sharply through Hodeidah port, where volumes in February were less than half the average. Regarding the violence in Yemen, Special Envoy Hans Grunberg said that over the last month, artillery shelling in Taiz inflicted civilian casualties and damage to residential buildings, while hostilities have been reported in Sada and Al-Dala governorates. Grunberg also called for a serious, constructive, and solution-oriented political debate, with civil discourse brought back to guide the settlement of the conflict.
In Taiz, the exchange of artillery shelling has again inflicted civilian casualties and damage to residential buildings. Hostilities have also been reported in Sada and in Al-Dali governorates. Airstrikes inside Yemen continue, this month primarily on front lines in Marib and Hajjah. In Marib, Ansarallah continues its offensive, which for over 2 years has caused enormous harms to civilians.
Grunberg also cited reports by the United Nations Children's Fund that at least 47 children have been killed in Yemen just during the first 2 months of 2022. More than 10,200 children were verified injured or killed over the past 7 years, with actual numbers likely much higher. Hans Grunberg spoke about the violence in Yemen. He said Yemenis continue to live with severe restrictions on their freedom of movement. He added that women and girls face additional movement restrictions with the imposition of a male guardian. The special envoy of the Secretary General for Yemen called for a joint intensive effort by the country's people and the international community to break the never-ending cycle of violence and lay the foundation for a sustainable peace.